What's going on, guys? Giganato Gaming here, and welcome back to another episode of Ark Primal Nemesis. Last we left off, we got started. We only died like twice, considering everything that went on. We're doing pretty well here. We got our raft, we got our bed. We also got this little Carcharodontosaurus chibi. And we also got this Dilophosaur here. Not much has really happened, but we got started anyway. But in today's video, I'd like to see if we can get our first alpha going. But in order to get our first alpha, we need alpha kibble. That's like the first here. We need alpha kibble, which only requires dinosaur eggs, mejoberries, raw meat, fiber, and raw fish meat. The fish meat, that might be the tough bit. But I think we can do it. I think we could pull it off. But first, we need to get some, like, vanilla tames and whatever. There is a drop right there. I'm just going to go ahead and go get it. I'm just going to get this drop in case there's anything good in it. Maybe some fish meat or something like that. I don't know. That would make it a little easier anyway. But yeah. Today, I'd like to see if we can at least set up for our first alpha. Whoa. Oh, God. Alright, something's exploding. Ooh. There's an explosive bee. That, I believe, is an apex seeker. Can I just get this drop real quick? Alright, we got some jerky, some chitin. Don't mind me. Alright, let me get back to my raft. Oh, God, that is terrifying. My dude. Okay, we got a coelacanth here. We could kill a quick fish real quick. Excuse me. I need your fish, buddy. Ow. That's a piranha. That was a piranha. Yeah, I'm swimming out of here. An Atlantic piranha. So that was a modded piranha. Alright, he broke my boots, but that's fine. Now, I have, like, been doing some off-camera work and been looking around, seeing what we can tame and what we can't tame. I think that Rex that's over there might be an Apex Rex. I think the Apexes have red eyes and the Alphas have yellow eyes. I think that's the case. But yeah, my boots broke, which is awesome. Alright. Let me see if I can get a storage unit going at least. And then maybe if we end up surviving episode 2, I'll get like an actual base going. That's what I might do. Alright. Let's get some fiber, let's get some thatch, and let's get some wood. But yeah, as we're doing this, if you find yourself enjoying this video and want more content like this, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. Let's see if we could get this channel to 2,000 subscribers. That would be super amazing. But with that, let's continue the video. So, I'm just going to collect some fiber, maybe get a storage unit going. And maybe I might get like an actual structure. That's what we should do. But first, I'd like to see if maybe we could get another moss chops. If we can. We should probably focus on getting a moss chops. I'll get a storage unit first. And then we'll focus on getting a moss chops afterwards. Because I'd like to get a moss chops to replace the one we lost to that Apex Oviraptor. There we go. So we can at least have a place to store our items. Alright. Yeah, I'm just going to keep these guys on this island. So, to keep them safe. Alright, let's get a storage unit going. We'll do a little bit of exploration. Maybe I should get a bow going. We'll probably need a bit more fiber before we can get a bow. Let me track. Yep, some fiber and some wood. Minmi, do you have any wood on you? You have some fiber. That's cool. Alright, let's get some more fiber and some wood. I want to at least get the bow started. I want to at least get started. We'll get arrows once we have like a moss chops. That's kind of the goal. Tame up a moss chops, get it home safely, and I'm pretty sure that's a Morella tops over there. Probably an Apex Morella tops. We need 8 more fiber. There we go, that's fiber taken care of. Alright, let's get our bow going anyway. There we go. So at least we have a firearm. Well, not a firearm, but like a bow, you know? We've got 3 fish. We need some more fish in order to... Maybe a baryonyx might not be a bad investment. Anything that gathers fish, or a carnivore in general. A Spino wouldn't be a bad investment either. Alright, Dilophosaur, I'm going to ask you to come over here real quick. And then I want to see if we could do some exploration. Maybe get like a... Maybe get a Moss Chops or something like that. The Moss Chops could cover both meat and berries. Alright, let's do some exploration. Alright, where's that Rex? I think that might be an apex. I'm pretty sure it's an apex, but that's an apex trike. That might be an alpha turtle. I don't think we could take on an alpha turtle. Is that a Moss Chops? No, I think that's a parrot of some sort. Alright, I want to stay away from that apex trike. I think glowing red eyes means apex, and glowing yellow eyes means alpha. I'm pretty sure, anyway. Alright, what's over here? Looks like we got a bulb dog of some sort. There's a ghost piranha. I'd like to stay away from that, just in case it's aggressive. What is... That's a berry of some sort. I'm staying away from that. There's an alpha arcology megatherium somewhere. There's a Carcanos. What appears to be a seeker, a roll rat. Alright, nothing in the water should attack us as long as we stay on the raft. I don't like that. Is that a hammerhead shark? Floating in the sky? Yeah, there are these ghost creatures as well. I'm just looking for a vanilla Moss Chops. That's all I'm looking for. Alright, there's a Carcanos. There's a Nothosaur. Nothosaur wouldn't be a bad tame. Problem is you need electrical generators. Wait, is that an Elder Claw? I think that might be an Elder Claw. Can I just see what level this Nothosaurus is real quick? Level you 20? Alright, I could care less about that. Alright, let's get out of here. I think that's an Elder Claw. Pretty sure that's an Elder Claw. Like to stay away from that crab, if I can. That is an Elder Claw. That is so cool. They spawn on the center. That's very good to know. Alright, let's go over here. There's a Pego over here. I would prefer some type of berry gatherer that I could ride on. That we could get some narco berries and some other berries. There is a... Oh, I thought that was a normal parasaur. I think that's an alpha parasaur. Okay. Is there anything... Alright, there's that apex trike. Alright, there's an alpha something over here. That's an alpha jerboa. I'm just looking around seeing what I can find. There's a normal turtle. What appears to be some type of modded Dilophosaur. There's the Rex. Either that or that's a different Rex. No, that's the same Rex. I think that's an Apex Rex. I think glowing red eyes means Apex. Alright, let me see if there's anything on this island here. We gotta watch out for lead Zichthies as well. We are pretty fast. We might be able to outswim lead Zichthies. Who knows? Are there any vanilla creatures over here that I could tame? Or kill? That's a wyvern. That is a wyvern. And it's flying around base. Oh god. I would just gotta be careful. Maybe if I could get some crystal, we could get the hell out of here. Hello? Any creatures on this godforsaken island? There's really nothing on this island. Luckily, we got that meat jerky from that drop. Now, let's level up a bit. We got one more level. We're level 70 now. We were 69, but now we're 70. Yeah, we just gotta remember there's a wyvern next to my Minmi and my... Yeah, there it is. I don't even want to know what kind of wyvern that is. I don't even want to know. Alright, there's a bee right there. Don't want to go near that bee. If I can kill that dodo... I can kill that dodo, right? He doesn't have any friends, does he? Oh, that's an apex. There goes my first bola. Jesus, there's explosions. I'm just gonna get the hell out of here. There's also an alpha dodo right here. And a nature Dilophosaur. I don't think I can take any of this stuff. I wish I had a spyglass, like an awesome spyglass, so I know what the hell I'm dealing with. Dude, there's these dodos everywhere, dude. Jesus. Right, there's some stuff over here I could look at. Alright, there's bulldogs. There's a normal Dilophosaur. There's a seeker. There's a trike. Alright, can we go to a coastal area that isn't crawling with these modded dodos? There's another... Is that a Yi-Ling? Is that a whole-ass Yi-Ling? Yeah, I believe that is a Yi-Ling. There's a dodo right there. There's a normal dodo. But I don't know how that apex parasaur or even that alpha parasaur are gonna react. Seeing me here. We know we can definitely take on a... Is that apex dodo still chasing me? Yeah, you're still chasing me. That trike looks terrifying. I'd rather stay away from that. Alright, let's go this way. Alright, we've lured the apex dodo away. Is that a glowtail? Alright, there's a glowtail. There's a Mesopithecus guarding that green drop. Alright, can I just find like a regular vanilla dodo that's like by itself or something? That way we can get started on the kibble. There's something swimming down below. Or let's maybe make our way back. I need to use my spears sparingly. We should just get a primal spear, if I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, there's the wyvern. He's flying towards my creatures. I'd rather you not do that, sir. Well, you know what? If the Minmi and the Dilophosaur, if they die, they die. Alright, what's over here? We got what appears to be a jug bug. There's a seeker. Is that a normal dodo? Alright. Nothing kill me, please. Of course, there's explosions. Yeah, there's something over there. Yeah, there's that Apex Rex. Alright, turtle, get out of the way, please. Alright, how am I supposed to get anything done? Alright, there's some normal dodos. There's also that Apex Seeker. Alright, can I just possibly tame this dodo real quick? Damn it! Why do these mods have to make creatures that blow stuff up? Why? There's also an apex dodo there, I believe that is. You know, let's keep going. Maybe there's a safer spot further down or something. There's a skeletal trike. Stay away from that. Alright, there's a shine horn of some sort. Alright, there's a Draconics, which would be great for berry gathering and fiber gathering. That one's guarded by a monkey. There's another one guarded by an alpha dodo. There's a baby. We could easily... Oh, I think that might be an apex dodo. Let me see its eyes. If they're yellow, it's an alpha. Oh, it's red. I think that's an apex. I think that's an apex dodo. Alright, so there's an apex dodo guarding that guy. And there's a Mesopithecus. Those dodos, I think, aggro from very far away. Okay. Should we try it? I think we should try it. See what happens. No, he's wandering too close to the other Draconics. It's just that there's an apex dodo. If I could lure this apex dodo away. Apex dodo. Hey. Alright, I'm gonna wait for it to get close enough. Oh, we're getting headshots. There goes my second spear. Let's get back on the raft. Yeah, my second spear just broke. You know, I wish I had arrows. Arrows I could use to shoot them. That would make things a lot easier instead of trying to gamble with them. And of course, there's a nature dodo there. Oh my god. Alright. We need arrows if we're gonna try this. There's a normal dodo here. There's a couple of normal dodos. This could be perfect. If I could get them, if I could tame them and get them on the raft, then we'd be good to go. Or I could just wait. Are you both female? I might have to get rid of this seagull. Ouch! Okay, can we not chase me? Tree, get out of the way! I would not be surprised if that was that same apex dodo that tried to kill me earlier. Oh, we're gonna have to fight this guy. Of course that bola missed! Yeah, we're gonna have to kill this apex dodo. We're gonna have to kill him. He just snuck up behind me. Alright, let me see if I can stab the hell out of him. There goes my last bow. And there's a piranha after me. Ouch! And it broke all my armor. It broke all my goddamn armor. Oh my god. And it set me flying, too. There's the apex dodo. I don't have any bolas left because they all broke. My armor broke. Except for some gloves. That nature dodo's gonna come after me. There's another alpha dodo there. How am I supposed to get anything done? Alright, let's maybe head back home. See if we can get back home. Alright, where is home? Alright, we're in the general area. Of course, that piranha had to come after me. How am I supposed to get anything done? There's a wyvern hovering over my base. There's a drop here. Maybe there's some armor. Alright, let's see what's in it. A shield. What the hell are you expecting me to do with a shield? A wooden shield. I mean, I could use it to maybe hold the apex dodo back a little. I'm going to try to get some more fiber so I can get some more arrow or spears going. Maybe I should get some arrows going. Because the spears are just going to keep breaking after a while. Let's see if we can get some arrows going. Because, you know, screw this. Alright, let's get some arrows going. Some stone arrows. Watch out, apex dodos. I am coming for you. Alright. I'm gonna get my revenge. There it is. Oh, no, wait. That's not even an apex dodo. I'm gonna get those normal dodos, bring them home, and then maybe get those others out. I'm tired of being pushed around. Right, there's the nature dodo. Or where's that apex dodo? Where'd those normal dodos go? Oh, there's a normal dodo right there. Alright, I don't see the apex dodo. Can I just tame these guys in peace? Alright, let's give you some of that. Or if that other one could be like a male, that would be great. Alright, there are no apex dodos after me. Male, perfect. That's just what we need. That's just what we need. If we can get them home without dying, that would be great. Let me take half of those berries. Monkey, please don't bother me. Alright, we finally got some dodos anyway. Let me go ahead and park the boat in a position where I could just... Wait, I could just pick up the dodos. What am I doing? Alright. That should be good. And if that apex dodo comes back, I'll be ready for it. Alright, the first dodo... The male dodo has tamed up right away. Alright. Whistle stop. Alright, the other dodo tamed up. Alright. Both dodos have been tamed. Alright, you follow me to the raft. Place you on the raft. There we go. We got 2 dodos. Whistle stop. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. Let me just get these dodos to safety. And then we can focus on what to do next. By starting by getting... hopefully getting the Minmi and the Dilophosaur out of here. I might try to drop the dodos off on that peaceful island. And then I might go back to try and pick up the Minmi and the Dilophosaur. Oh, there's nothing here. Can I just go get this blue drop real quick? I swear to God, if you're another wooden shield and not something I could use... Oh, we got a pike. We got a pike. That is something we could use. Alright. We also got a toilet. We got some better pants. I'm going to put those on. I'm going to use the pike. That could be the replacement for the spears. I'm going to put some stuff away in here. Just so we have it. Hold on to this other stuff. And the rare flowers. Alright. That's good. This island seems more peaceful. You know what? I might drop the dodos off here. And then go back to see if I can get the Minmi. Alright, but let me put them a little further around the island. Let me put them, like, here or something. So at least we can get started on the alpha kibble. We might not be able to get our first alpha today, but maybe next episode we might do that. Alright, you dodos stay over here. We've got dodos anyway. That's good. A male and a female. I'd love to be able to put them away. I'd love to be able to put them away because you don't know what this mod entails. Alright, I'm going to keep those pings there so that I know where to go. And we're going to see if we can go back for that min-me. Alright, there's that wyvern. Alright, he's kind of flying high in the air. So I might be able... Alright, there's a bee there as well. I might be able to get the min-me and the Dilophosaur back. Alright, let me park the raft a little further down. Alright, min-me, Dilophosaur. We can't live here anymore. It's not safe. We have to get out of here. Alright, I want to make sure everyone's on the raft. Alright, you're on the raft. Okay. Let's get out of here. Alright, I managed to get the Dilophosaur and the min-me home safely, which is good. We've got our egg producers anyway. Maybe off camera I'll do some more work and get like an official base going. Alright. Alright. You four stay here. This is our new home from now on. We got 2 dodos, which is good anyway. That's progress. Now there's one more, or maybe 2 more things I'd like to do. Get myself a berry gatherer, like an official berry gatherer. Get some Mejo berries, for 1. And for 2, I'd like to get my revenge on that apex dodo if I can. I'd like to see if I can get my revenge. I've seen a Draconics. I'd like to maybe see if I can get the Draconics. There's that apex dodo. Along with the volcanic dodo. I have about 49 arrows, so we better try to make it count. I do realize that I'm going to get the volcanic dodo's attention as well as the apex dodos. Maybe if I just leave them alone. And just go after the Draconics. Nothing should be surrounding the Draconics anymore. So we should be good. Hopefully. I mean, apart from that nature dodo. I'll even be happy with a moss chops. I'll even be happy with a moss chops. That can gather berries and fiber. There's 3 Carcanos in that area. There's a Megalodon. There's what appears to be a broodmother, a Mahjong. I think there's a turtle down there. Yeah, there is a turtle down there. You know, an Archelon wouldn't be a bad investment either. A trike wouldn't be a bad shout, but the problem is we need trank arrows, I'm pretty sure. And I think that is a Dinotherium. Yeah, there's a Dinotherium there. That might be a little too dangerous. Meantime, is there a modded dodo that I could go after and kill, possibly? Maybe get something cool? That's a modded dodo. Let's get our revenge. I know you're not the same exact dodo, but... Come here, buddy. Are you an alpha or an apex? Oh, yeah. Arrows are definitely the way to go. We just killed an apex dodo. Let's go. Let's get some apex, whatever they drop. Screw you, apex dodo. Now we know we can kill you with arrows. I'm pretty sure that's an alpha glowtail. That might not be a bad investment. Alright, we got our revenge on the Apex Dodo. Even though it wasn't the same exact Apex Dodo, we got our revenge. And that's really all I care about. There's an Apex Glowtail. There's the Dinotherium. You know, taming a Dinotherium might not be a bad investment. But at least we'll have somewhat of a protector. Moss Chops. Are you a modded Moss Chops? Yeah, you're an alpha Moss Chops. There's also some alpha dodos in the area. I'm just looking to see if there's, like, any creatures worth taming. Like a berry gatherer. Even a parasaur wouldn't be bad. Because at least we'd have something to gather berries. And to make our lives a little bit easier. Alright, one more look around. Moss Chops! Wait, there's nothing in the area, right? There's an alpha dodo, but that's fine. We can take that. That's fine. We can take an alpha dodo. Come here, buddy. There's also an exploding thing. Keeping my eyes peeled for any more modded stuff. Alright. What do you want, good sir? We finally found something. Raw prime fish meat. Don't have that. Something's alpha boosting it. Of course you want raw prime fish. And you don't want, like, maybe a Mejo or a Tinto or something like that. Alright, anything over here, maybe? There's another Apex Dodo. I'm gonna get my revenge. Yo, Apex Dodo! Hey, buddy. I'm over here. Alright, he doesn't seem interested right now. There's a Draconics over there. But I'm not sure about that parrot. That's the only problem. Wait for it. Now. Of course that missed. Of course that bola had to miss. Of course that bola missed. How did that miss? Why do my bolas keep missing? Let's try to hit him this time. What the hell? Why do they keep missing? None of my bolas are registering for whatever reason. Alright, there's a blue boosted drop. I'd like to see what's in it. There's a Draconics next to a Nature Dodo. Is there a chance I can get this blue boosted drop? Moss Chops. Alright, you're not aggroing to me. That's good. Wait, are you... Oh, you're an Apex, Moss Chops. I was gonna say, free Moss Chops? No, that's an Apex. I might be pressing my luck by doing this. Because I've been really lucky so far. Knock on wood. I'm gonna make a run for it. See if this drop is worth it. We got a better bow. That's good. We got a better bow, which will probably do more damage. That'll definitely help us out. I'm just looking for a decent berry gatherer or fiber gatherer. And a Draconics would be the best of both worlds. Alright, let's put some stuff away. Got a campfire, tree sap, tap. We got some cementing paste, which will be great for the recovery thing. The Cyberstructure's gravestone. You know, we'll make one right now. Since we have the cementing paste, might as well make one. So if we die, we can at least respawn. We can at least get our stuff back instantly. Alright. We got that going. On my spare time, I might build myself a little house to make it a little bit easier. Of course, we'll still have the raft to get around, but still. Alright. Let me see if I can get that blue drop real quick. I think that's the Moss Chops I tried, but it wanted raw prime fish meat. Alright. Whoa. Alright, can everything leave me alone for 1 second? Was that worth it? Probably not. Alright, what'd we get from that? What kind of saddle was that? A Tanyosaurus. Don't know what that is, but... Alright, we got that. There's another dodo. There's also a compy of some sort. There's a Mutaburosaurus. Yo, real talk. The problem with the Mutaburosaurus is that everything will aggro to me. And everything will probably aggro to the Mutaburosaurus. That's the only problem with taming one of them. Yeah, everything in the vicinity is going to aggro to us if we get that Mutaburosaurus. They're very easy to tame, and it would not be a bad investment. Alright, see if we can take out this dodo. Just in time. Oh, yeah. This arrow's definitely the way to be. This bow is definitely the way to go. Alright, can we chill out with the explosions, please? Hey, have you changed your mind? Would you like a Tinto Berry? Rock Prime Fish Meat. Should we risk it and get that Mutaburosaurus? There's a Dinotherium there. Everything's gonna aggro to us, though. That's the only problem. Alright, there's something there anyway. Whoa. Yeah, there's something doing explosions anyway. There's that, what is it, Hydrotrike or Hydrorex or something like that? Yeah, let's just go home. There's a green drop here anyway. I'd like to go get that real quick. We got some better armor. Alright. Managed to get a shirt anyway. And then maybe I'll do some off-camera work, and next episode we should be able to get some alpha kibble. I'll also get a base going and doing all that fun stuff. But until then, that is going to wrap it up for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.